unless they're lying. Maybe this is a big conspiracy against Paul. I don't think so.
Well, I guess you can call it like a little white lie.
You're gonna tell us a lie about something that means nothing, about a black eye. Take a polygraph right now, how would you do?
Do fine.
Let's do it.
I already told you I have to talk to my parents anyway. I have to go at 4 o'clock, so.
You are now looking at 19-year-old Paul Flores, a man who managed to avoid consequences for over 27 years. May 24, 1996, in San Luis Obispo, California. It was Memorial Day weekend, and 19-year-old Kristen Smart and her friend decided to attend a college party. Her friend went home early and Kristen started walking to another party at a fraternity house. By 2 a.m., Kristen was found passed out on the lawn of the neighboring house by 2 fellow students after becoming highly intoxicated. Both students helped Kristen stand up and started trying to get her back to her dorm room. This is when Paul, who was at the same party, decides to offer his assistance. As he lived closest to Kristen's dorm, he assured them he would get her back safely, so the students left her alone with Paul. This was the last confirmed sighting of Kristen Smart. We will now break down the interrogation of Paul Flores and detail the evidence against him, as we discover how a guilty man got away with murder. This interrogation footage has only been released to the public in 2023. For context, Kristen will be referred to by her nickname Roxy throughout the interrogation. This interview also took place 1 month after Kristen's disappearance. The conversation begins with the detectives asking Paul what he thinks happened.
I would figure, my best guess is she went off with someone. I don't know, she decided,
Okay. A stranger or what?
It could have been just someone she knows, someone might have gone, hey, let's go to Taco Bell or something.
Why Taco Bell?
Because Taco Bell's open all night long.
Oh, okay. Based on you walking with her, do you think she could walk up to Taco Bell, okay?
So I've walked that far. It's like I've walked all the way up to like Broad Street over by Laurel Lane's Bowl before.
I mean, she was pretty drunk. You think she could walk up that far?
It's like I've walked I've walked a few miles before.
Okay, let's suppose, okay, that, you're saying that's your best opinion if she's alive, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's suppose that something bad happened to her and she's not alive anymore. What would be your best guess or your opinion as to what happened to her if she's not alive anymore? What do you think happened?
I would say like someone who she hitchhiked with or something abducted her or something,
Somebody why would she be hitchhiking?
Well, I'm saying, people said they saw her hitchhiking, so.
Okay, but those people are mistaken. Let's say she was last in the area of the dorms there where you walked away from her.
Okay.
And there's nowhere to hitchhike right in there. What do you think, if something bad happened to her, what do you think happened to her from that point where you last saw her?
I don't know.
Well, let's say, just an opinion. See, we ask everybody for their opinion because it helps us, because we sometimes look at this and we don't see the whole picture. So we ask everybody, hey, what do you think happened to her? And they tell us, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But we like to get somebody else's opinion as to what they think might have happened.
I just think she probably took off with someone.
Okay, well, let's say something bad happened to her. She didn't take off with anything. Something bad happened and she's dead. Let's say she's not alive anymore.
Okay.
What do you think happened to her?
Someone put her in the car and took her someplace. I don't know.
Okay. What if somebody didn't have a car to put her in? What happened to her?
I have no idea.
What would be your best guess?
I don't have any guess. It's like ask someone to borrow the car or something.
A missing persons report was not filed until 3 days after Roxy's disappearance, as the university assumed she had went on vacation for Memorial Day weekend.
You think she got put into a car somewhere and taken somewhere? That'd be your best
Yeah,
guess.
but I don't think anything happened to her on campus. I think, she probably wouldn't.
Why do you think somebody would want to kill her?
I don't think anyone, it's like, you don't even know, it's like people, it's like, I don't know why people do drive-bys either, or anything, but people do that.
Drive-by shooting?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Let's suppose you came on to her a little bit, you're an American boy like any of us would be, and you know, you got, play a little kissy face, a little touchy poo, this kind of stuff. You know, if you did that, would you tell us about it and not be afraid to tell us? Because it's very important that you tell us everything, because remember, we've talked to a whole lot of people, and they've told us some things, and we tried to fit all these pieces together. Now, if something like that happened, it doesn't mean anything
Yeah.
bad, but it's very important to this total picture that if you did do, you know, kissed her a little bit or touched her a little bit, which is nothing wrong with it, but if you did, it's real important that you tell us so that we can fit all these pieces together based on what everybody's telling us around here. And I could see somebody, you know, kissing her or you know, especially when she comes on to him, then being afraid to say anything because now she's missing and that person might think, oh God, I'm a suspect. But you know, we wouldn't think
Yeah.
that. Did something like that happen, you know,
No.
based on her being a little,
Uh-uh.
little loose or anything?
No,
Never kissed her or anything?
never.
Did you wanna kiss her?
No, I didn't feel, I don't remember feeling any attraction towards her, so.
Okay.
5 months before this interview took place, Paul apparently, while intoxicated, tried to force entry into a woman's home. The police were called and Paul was not arrested.
Let's go back to the party for a second. If somebody at the party, not just somebody, maybe, how many, 4 or 5 people? 4 or 5 people told us that they saw you trying to kiss her at the party. And in fact, it was in the hallway at the party, and you were trying to kiss her. In fact, I think she fell down on the ground and you were kind of laying down next to her trying to kiss her or something. Can you remember what happened with that?
Never even, I don't remember doing anything like that.
Okay. But I mean, this isn't where just one person told us, several people saw this.
I don't remember even doing anything like that.
Nothing? Nothing like that happened?
Nothing.
Why do you think these 4 or 5 people would tell us that?
It's possible they thought I was someone else.
Well, that's what we thought. That's why we showed your picture, and they picked you out in the picture. Because she was kissing on a lot of guys that night, you know.
Paul already had a bad reputation with other students, having been given the nickname Scary Paul.
There was
I never kissed her though.
Huh. So 4 or 5 people were all wrong when they said that? Is it possible it could have happened?
Unless I had a blackout, I guess that's,
Okay. You don't remember anything? Is it even fuzzy?
nothing. It had another girl there I kissed though.
No, you did?
Yeah.
Who'd you kiss?
It was just, I don't even, I forget what her name was. I don't know.
I thought you just told me you don't go up to strange girls and kiss them.
What?
I thought you just told me you don't go up to strange
No,
girls.
no, it was like the girl I was talking to for a couple hours and then I just gave her like a little quick kiss.
Okay. So, I mean, do you remember physically walking with her?
It's like I remembered, you know, just like yeah, I guess, you know, just walking. It's like I don't remember like every second of the walk or anything.
Okay.
You know, I can't play it like back like it was a movie or anything.
Okay. I mean, was she hanging on you then?
I don't remember. I remember her just walking and I was walking right next to her.
Just 2 days after Roxy's disappearance, Paul was arrested for an unrelated DUI warrant. Police remember seeing Paul with a black eye and scratches.
And you guys didn't talk at all?
I don't remember talking at all. No.
Okay.
It's possible I might have talked, but nothing that I remember anything about.
Do you remember anything she said to you?
No.
God, I'm drunk, or I like you, I hate you,
No.
anything like that?
Uh-uh.
So you guys have no conversation?
Yeah. And the only conversation I can remember, I talked to Cheryl. I don't remember if it was on the walk or it was at the party. I don't remember. I like talked a second about the class we had together. You know, we go, oh, how'd you do or whatever, kind of like.
Okay. And what'd she say? Fine, or?
Yeah. She said she got like a B in it or something.
Well, when you got to the corner with Cheryl, though, you asked her for a hug, though, didn't you? Good night hug?
Not that I remember, no.
You didn't ask her for a good night kiss? I'm not saying
Uh-uh.
you were all over, I'm just saying that you asked her for a hug, which isn't inappropriate
Yeah.
or wrong or anything.
There isn't anything wrong with asking someone for a hug. Yeah.
You know, and you know what it tells me also? You asked.
Which is the gentleman thing to do.
Right. You asked. You didn't do it, you asked.
Yeah, but I'm just saying I don't even remember doing anything like that. Yeah.
So then you walk Roxy up to where?
up to, because Wood has the driveway, you guys went with me over there, and just like, I remember, I walked with her to where the driveway was, and I went up to my dorm, because the walkway goes that way towards my dorm, and then she started walking up that way.
Paul claims he walked Kristen as far as his dorm and let her walk the rest of the journey to her dorm by herself. His dorm was not searched until 2 weeks after Roxy went missing, and by that time university cleaners had already cleaned out his room.
You don't know what you were wearing that night? Okay. Somebody who didn't know anything about this case but came forward after the publicity
Okay?
and said that she saw a guy fitting your description with a Baltimore Orioles cap, doesn't know your name, doesn't know you from Adam, and a girl that was taller than him, walking up that way together. Would that be accurate, or would that be false?
Walking where?
Up towards,
Past where you last saw her.
past where you last saw her exactly.
Nuh-uh, I didn't see her after that.
Okay. No, I mean, did you take a turn with her going up her walkway? That's what I'm
Nuh-uh.
asking.
Nope.
You know what a photo lineup is, Paul?
Yeah,
You know, where you
Huh?
get a picture and you put 5 other pictures
Yeah.
in there, and then somebody looks at
Right.
it. What if we did a photo lineup and somebody picked your picture out of 6 and said they saw you with Roxy at a location other than where you said you were at? In other words, you told us you last saw Roxy going up her walkway and you were coming this way. What if somebody saw the two of you together somewhere other than right there?
well, they probably saw us before.
No, they didn't, they weren't at the party. They just saw you, and we can't give you all the information that we have because it's kind of confidential, but they saw you at a location other than what you told us about. Now, is there something you haven't told us, something you left out?
Nuh-uh,
Why would they say they saw you someplace other than right there?
I have no idea.
And they pick your picture out, and they pick Roxy out, just took out of the lineup.
I have no idea.
See, that's why we're getting kind of confused.
And I'll tell you.
That's the last time she walked that way, I walked to my door.
Okay, Paul, you know what, and
Throughout this interrogation, Paul keeps his responses minimal with "I don't know" and "I have no idea," almost like he was advised by a lawyer prior to this interview.
like Investigator Hobson said earlier, and I don't want you to think that we're pinning on you as the suspect,
Uh-huh,
but some of the things you're telling us aren't adding up, and I'll tell you why, I
Okay.
think. I think you don't want to tell us everything because it's going to make you look like a suspect, but it's just the opposite. See, we just didn't pick your name out of a hat and say, okay, let's go talk to Paul today.
right,
After we get all this information, now we're not looking at you as a suspect, but we're saying, okay, some of the things he told us isn't adding up. I think I know the reason why, personally. Because if you tell us everything, it's gonna make you look like a suspect. And that's not the way we look at it.
Mhm.
What you understand where
Yeah.
I'm coming from? Okay?
right.
What we need from you is just your complete honesty. And if it makes you look like a suspect, it doesn't.
Mhm.
All you need to do is explain it to us what happened.
For instance, Paul, we talked to a couple guys at the party that was kissing her and doing things with her sexually that didn't want to tell us about it because they found out she was missing. And they said, oh God, if we tell these guys that we were kissing her and touching her at the party, these two guys are going to think I'm a suspect. So
Mhm.
initially, when we talked to these guys, they left all that stuff out. They didn't tell us what they'd been doing with it.
Yeah,
So then we found out through other people that they were. So naturally, we go back to them now, and because they're not telling us the whole truth, we start getting a little suspicious. So finally, they sit down and they admit, okay, this is what happened. Then they tell us, yeah, I was kissing her, I took her out back, and I was touching her. I did a few things, but that was it. See?
I didn't even know about that.
No, because it went outside. But see, because they lied to us, it looked bad for them. That's what Detective Hanley is saying to you, that if you leave something out like these guys did, then it made us look at them a little harder. And then once they told us the truth, we could understand it, and other people saw some things that corroborated what they were talking about. So that's what he's talking
Yeah.
about.
Believe me, we think
Yeah,
what you're telling us is true,
right.
okay?
It's said throughout the investigation the police spent a lot of time painting Roxy out as a reckless underage drinker rather than focusing on finding out what happened to her.
And since we think that, but we have other people says, well, geez, we saw a guy fitting this description with her. We eliminate you, we've gotta go on and do other things.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it just makes it a lot easier for
Yes.
us. Between you and I, is there anything you're leaving out?
No,
Think about the party now.
no other contact. I think she might have said hi to me twice maybe,
Uh-huh.
but that was about.
Do you remember running into her in the hallway?
No.
Positive about that.
I don't remember at all talking to her in the hallway.
Let me ask you this
It's
about the map.
possible, I guess, it's,
Right.
anything's possible. You know,
Sure.
you can wind up saying something to someone and not remember it.
Okay.
It's like I don't even remember how I wound up walking with them. Like
Uh-huh. Do you find that odd?
what?
Think about it. That you don't remember any conversation with her.
Well, because I talked to a lot of people at the parties, like afterwards. Heck, if I remember who I talked to, so.
Right, but what I'm saying,
but not
Paul,
that I remember.
is from the time you left the party with Roxy and Cheryl,
Okay.
okay? And Cheryl's probably walking a little bit in front of you guys.
Yeah, she was.
Okay.
Right.
Got you and Roxy behind her, okay?
Okay.
You stop several times, no big deal, because she's cold. You give her a quick hug, no big deal, right?
Uh-huh.
Or was it a big deal?
No big deal.
Okay. During this whole time, this almost 15-minute walk, you guys don't talk about anything.
I don't remember talking about anything. It's possible, just it was small talk.
Cheryl's got a pretty good memory.
Okay.
She wasn't drinking. And all she knows is that she was gonna help get Roxy home. And she started to walk with Roxy. And then that's when you joined in.
Honestly, I had no idea what
Well,
I'm doing.
I'm
Yeah,
telling
I
you,
know.
I'm helping you out here.
Okay.
Work with me a little bit here, okay?
All right.
All right. She confirms what you said, that several times Roxy stopped and complained of being cold.
Right.
And she said you went over and you didn't just rub her arms, you gave her some manly hugs, like a man would, like any man would. Here's a woman standing there that's half naked, the way she's dressed. She's got on a little tank top, half t-shirt, skin tight, black vinyl shorts. She's half naked. It's like wearing a bathing suit. Anyway, you reach out and you give her a good manly hug, like Bill or I would do, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then you'd walk a little more and she'd complain about being cold. You'd stop and give her a hug. Except at one point, you told Cheryl, go ahead, you can go on now. You don't need to stay around, go ahead, go. Well, Cheryl was concerned, so she said, no, I'm gonna hang around. Because she saw how drunk Roxy was. So she didn't want to just leave the two of you there. Cheryl was concerned that you were trying to get rid of her, and that was her concern. That's why when you got up to Perimeter where she went off on Grand, Cheryl wanted to make sure that you were going to walk Roxy up to her dorm. Actually get her inside her dorm. Because Cheryl knew that Roxy couldn't make it to her dorm by herself. And so did Tim, the guy that found her at the party. See, when Tim found her,
Who's Tim?
he's the guy that had the party at the house.
Okay, I think I know who that is then.
And when he found Roxy, she was passed out on the neighbor's lawn.
She was passed out on neighbor's lawn?
Just laying there, half asleep. That's how much she had to drink, see. So
Okay.
Tim stands her up and says, man, she can't walk home. And Tim was gonna walk with Cheryl until you came along. And then you said, hey, I'm going up that way, I'll go with her. Tim said, hey, great, appreciate it.
No, I don't remember that.
A neighbor of Paul's mother said she found an earring on the driveway that Smart was known to wear. The tenant gave this item to the police, but they lost it.
But she said you assured her, promised her, that you were gonna walk Roxy to her dorm, make sure she got in, because she was that drunk.
I have no idea if they were saying that, or
Well-
even the conversation even took place.
Well, I know it took place. We know that that wasn't the last place you
That's
saw
the
her.
last place I saw it.
Well, no, we know that's not true. See, and that's why we're trying to find out why you don't wanna tell us about whatever else happened.
Just for my curiosity, where else was I seeing that then? I'm just curious.
Well, we can't go into a lot of that because of, remember I told you it's a big puzzle?
Yeah.
And we have to kind of fit these pieces together.
Uh-huh.
If we tell you what we know, then it's like cheating at checkers.
Oh.
We don't want to cheat at checkers.
All right.
We want to be able to put it together so we can cooperate those things.
Okay.
See, one thing that really does look bad, and I don't know if you want to discuss this now, but we might as well. That we need to really get cleared up is, last time we talked to you, you had a black eye.
Yeah,
Remember that?
yeah.
Okay. And what did you tell us?
I told you I got it playing basketball
That's right. And where did you get it?
in my car,
What car?
my Ranger at home.
And how'd you get the black eye?
I hit the steering wheel. That's about it. But like, how often do people hit their eye in the steering wheel? So
Why didn't you tell us that?
because it doesn't sound like a very likely thing.
That's exactly my point. Do you see my point now, what I'm getting about on all this other stuff that happened? When you tell us something like that, and it doesn't make sense, see how bad it looks?
Well, it doesn't matter if I leave out little details. Why does it matter who I was even with that day, though? I mean, like the Labor Day weekend or Memorial Day weekend. See, I don't even figure that out.
Why does it matter?
Yeah.
Because that's how we found out you didn't get the black eye playing basketball.
But I don't think there was any big deal. So.
So you got it on 2 o'clock in the morning
Yeah.
on a Sunday,
Right.
taking
Well, it was actually Monday then.
Monday morning.
And woke up in the morning. It's like I didn't think I hit it very hard, but then I woke up in the morning with it.
What were you doing at 2 o'clock in the morning in your garage?
I was uninstalling my radio.
So explain to me exactly how you hit your eye that got that black eye.
It's like I was just like working. It's like I like the seats out. It's like I was grabbing the wires, and I remember I just like popped up. I don't remember exactly.
Which eye did you hit?
I think it was this one. It's like I don't remember. Right. Yeah, this one.
Okay. And show me how you hit it while you were pulling the wires.
I just came up and just hit it like right here, and then it wasn't actually the eye. It was just like right here.
You must have hit it pretty hard.
No, didn't even hit it very hard.
Well, how come it bruised so bad?
It didn't. It's the only bruise was just like a little line right here.
It was a
So,
pretty good bruise.
not really. Wasn't never swelled. Never was sore.
Okay. Now, how do we know that everything that you've told us so far, you don't really think it matters, so that's why you're telling us some of the things, and maybe what you're telling us isn't really the truth? How do we know now that you've lied to us?
Well, that wasn't important though.
Sure it is. That's important.
Police dogs picked up the scent of Kristen Smart on the bed of Paul Flores, even after his dorm was cleaned.
What if Roxy punched you in the eye?
Yeah.
See? See why it's important? What if Roxy punched you in the eye?
No, big old black eye.
No, not a big old one, one about that size. What if somebody tells us that they saw you with that black eye Saturday night?
Nope. I didn't have it Saturday night.
No,
No,
Paul,
Oh.
just listen to me for a second.
Relax, relax.
Okay.
Take a deep breath.
Just listen to me, okay?
We're trying
We're
to
not
help
making
you.
this, yeah, we're not making
Yeah.
this stuff up, okay? We see you with a black eye.
Yeah.
Now Holly sees you with a black eye. Friends of yours sees you with a black eye. Matter of fact, one of your friends asked you how it happened. And you know what you say to him?
I said I got an O playing basketball.
No, absolutely not. Unless they're lying. Maybe this is a big conspiracy against Paul. I don't think so.
And
You said, I don't know how I got it. Exact words, I don't know.
I might have said that, but I don't know. I know I didn't tell anyone I hit it on my steering wheel though,
Why?
because that makes me sound like a klutz. Later.
Can you see where we're coming
Yeah.
from now? If you're gonna tell us a lie about something that means nothing, about a black eye, then what else haven't you been truthful about, see? That's our concern.
Well, I know I did not have it Saturday night though.
We know you did.
Okay, so you and Javier went to the movies in downtown San Luis?
Right.
Okay. Yeah, we understand. And what did you
Yeah.
go see?
We went and saw Mission Impossible, then we saw Twister.
Well, if you're telling us the truth, why do you have to talk to your parents to take a polygraph?
Because I do.
Are you 19 years old?
Yes.
Are you an adult?
By age I am.
Right. So, once you turn 18, you can make your own decisions, right?
I'm still living in my parents' house, so it still rolls, so.
Another person claimed to hear a beeping sound every morning at 4:20 coming from a flower bed at the back of Paul's mother's house.
Yeah, but this is your life. Let me ask you this, if we asked you to take a polygraph right now, how would you do?
Do fine.
Let's do it.
I already told you I had to talk to my parents anyway, I have to go at 4 o'clock, so,
Okay, let me just ask you,
okay.
one of the people at the party, there's no doubt in their mind, said that you and Roxy fell to the floor.
I never fell to the floor.
Well, why are these people lying to us, Paul?
Mistaken, I guess,
You're
because.
mistaken?
I
Same
wouldn't-
girl who says that you go up to her, ask her for a date after you say you don't care about her boyfriend.
Wait, the person I talked to had a boyfriend?
Yeah, oh yeah. And you said, I don't care, give me your phone number anyways. Now, you think she's lying too?
I asked someone for the phone number that night too?
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea about that either.
You have no idea,
No.
no idea.
You ever gone up to somebody calling at a party and forced a kiss on them?
Nope.
If we have two ladies that came forward and identified you and said that happened, would that be true?
No, the only person, I well, I was at one party, then I was kind of like a little aggressive, I guess, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit. You pushed her up against the wall, shoved her up against the wall, and grabbed her face and tried to kiss her. She had to fight you up.
Not there. Nuh-uh.
You know what, Paul, here's our problem, and I'm gonna tell you what it is. We obviously came here with the best intentions, thinking you are a witness, okay?
Yeah.
And there's a couple things that you just need to clear up, because maybe you were afraid to tell us, okay? We obviously now, I think both believe, we made a mistake.
Hmm.
We truly made a mistake. We now have to look at this in a different light. Because if anybody lies, as much as you have, about something as serious as this is, what does that tell you?
I don't know of any lie I've done, so, well, I guess you can call it like a little white lie, but,
How you got your black eyes, a white lie?
yep.
About not saying anything to Cheryl Anderson, that's just a white lie?
I have just no idea about anything like that.
Pushing Roxy down in the hall and laying on top of her?
No, I wasn't laying on the ground either.
That's a lie then?
Yeah.
These people are lying?
I guess so.
Why all of a sudden is there about 5 or 6 people that are telling us lies?
I have no idea. It's probably people, I don't know.
It's probably people what?
Guess don't like me, I don't know.
They don't even know you.
Well, then I don't know then.
They had to pick you out of a photo lineup.
I have no idea. Well, maybe one person said, you know, that I think it was him, and then another person said, you know, oh, it was that guy, and they might have known who I was, so it's like the person knew the picture, and it's me.
Paul's father, Ruben, was also a suspect, accused of helping with hiding Kristen's body. For months after the disappearance, Paul appeared before a grand jury. He was not indicted. 6 years after Smart's disappearance in 2002, Kristen was now officially considered deceased, even without a body. The cold case was opened again in 2011, and the next decade was spent gathering evidence and searching various florist properties. In March 2021, archaeologists found a soil disturbance about the size of a coffin and the presence of human blood at Paul's father's home. The blood did not have a positive DNA sample, but prosecutors were able to convince a jury using circumstantial evidence and with Paul's different statements over the years. March 10, 2023, Paul was finally sentenced to 25 years to life. His father, Ruben, was acquitted of any involvement. The Smart family set up a scholarship in Kristen's name. The link will be in the description. Become one of Darkumentary's first subscribers, and please like the video.